going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the spiritual sequel to the 1992 film Candyman. So, Candyman tells a story about Anthony and his girlfriend who move into a loft in the now gentrified Cabrini. After a close encounter with an old timer, Anthony is exposed to the true story behind Candyman, a man who appears if you say his name 5 times in the mirror and brutally kills you. The film is directed by Nia DaCosta, who is now helming the Marvels, and it's also written by her, also with Jordan Peele and Wynn Roosevelt. Now, this was a film that I was really looking forward to for a long while. This film was supposed to come out last June, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was pushed multiple times. I believe it was moved from its June 12th date of last June, and then it got pushed into October, I believe, and then it got pushed into I think this is its third and final release date, and we finally got it. This was a movie that I was looking forward to ever since they dropped that first trailer, and this movie really intrigued me because I did not know. I knew about Candyman and what happens if you say his name into the mirror, kind of like Bloody Mary, but probably a little bit more sadistic in that sense. And so when they dropped the trailer, I was really intrigued. I believe Nia DaCosta directed this film a couple of years ago, Little Woods. I have not seen it. I tried to watch it, but I'm definitely going to be able to get into it a little bit later because she's now directing the Marvels, and so I really wanted to see what kind of levity she was going to be able to bring into the Marvels. And this was a really good attempt. It was really great to see her broaden her scope a little bit. A lot of the times this film does have a lot of messages. Sometimes it's forced down your throat, but other times it's not, and sometimes it's really subtle to the point where you get the idea. Sometimes it's force feeding you, but it's not force feeding you the way that they did it in the 2019 Black Christmas remake. It has a really great cinematography. The shots look really beautiful. All the performances from Abdul Mateen II, which I've been growing to be a fan. I really liked him in Aquaman, even though he didn't have a lot of presence in that film, and they really didn't do much with his character in that film. He did have a little spot in Baywatch, which I really enjoyed. He was also in The Greatest Showman, which really showed his drive, and he had a little role in Us, which really has that, which really bronze, which is really great because in the past couple of years he hasn't had the strongest filmography. He's been in the business for the past 3 years. I want to say Baywatch is his first film, even though he had a little small role in that film. But there was another film that I can't remember the name of that starred Logan Lerman that he appeared in. So I'm not sure which film was filmed first. So right now I'm going to assume that Baywatch was his feature film debut. And in the past 3 years, he's been doing a lot. I like the fact that he's diversing himself, the fact that he's not being just centered onto one role or being one person that you recognize all the time. He's slowly going into making his own person, and I believe this is going to be the first time that he's actually led a film. And so for what he did in the film and the material he was given, he did a really good job, and I can't wait to see what he does more. Teyonah Parris, who was in this year's WandaVision, is really unrecognizable because it wasn't until the film ended that I realized that Teyonah Parris plays Anthony's girlfriend in the film, and so that really took me for a loop, and she did a really good job. The issues that I have with this Candyman film is the fact that it is kind of short. It is about 90 minutes, but they do a really good job of getting used to those 90 minutes where they do a lot, but it doesn't have that kind of suspense that you want. And so by the time that we get into the third act of the film, it does feel like everything is just rushing to a close, and they need to fill as much stuff as they possibly can to fulfill that runtime, which was really surprising to me because I saw the runtime for the film a couple months ago, and I thought the film was about 91 minutes, and I felt like that was a really short runtime, but maybe it would have been done really well. Uh, it was done really well to the extent that they were given, but by the time that you do get to the third act of the film, it does feel like it's a little bit rushed and it has a little bit left to go, but they really do rush it really quick. There are some things at the end of the film that really didn't vibe with me very well, but I thought this was a really fun and even though there isn't like a lot of kills in the film, it is a really fun film. It does have the kills that you want. The blood is not as gory as I thought it would be, but there are some great performances. There are some great comedic reliefs in the film, especially from Nathan Stewart Jarrett, who plays Teyona Paris's brother in the film. I thought he was a great comedic relief. He's not really used a lot in the film, but I like the material that he was given, and I'm really excited to see what Nia DaCosta does with the Marvels, because the cinematography in this film really was great, and they didn't get a lot of meat in the film, a lot of meat that I really wish I could have gotten in the film, because it really is a different look. It does give us a little bit more of the lore of Candyman, but if you're into horror and you really enjoyed that first Candyman, then I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to enjoy this film for what it is. I really enjoyed it, not seeing the original. I'm going to be able to see it hopefully today to see how my opinions of the new Candyman and the original Candyman change. I'm not going to compare them because this is, like I said, a spiritual sequel to that 1992 film. So I'm really excited to see what Nia DaCosta does. I really liked the way that the film was written to a certain extent, but overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Candyman a 7 out of 10. This was a film that I was really looking forward to, and last summer they released that little feature, that little clip with like the puppets and everything. I really liked how they included that into the film, and it really gave us a little bit more levity. And I don't want to say this is a spoiler, but if you consider this as a spoiler, you do get to see that clip that they released a year ago in the closing credits of the film. But and I thought it was really effective. I really enjoyed seeing that on the big screen. But overall, this was a semi-disappointing, but it was an impressive film overall. I really enjoyed Nia DaCosta's direction in this film. I can't wait to see her in her direct the Marvels, and I'm going to be watching Little Woods. I believe that's what it's called. If it's not, then I'll go ahead and correct it somewhere on the screen. But I really like what they brought to the table. I like all the performances, and hopefully we'll be able to get another Candyman film. What did you guys think about Candyman? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? What are your thoughts on the original Candyman and sequels after that? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you think of it. And until next time, this is Josie Reviews.